is doing crazy things, but we are live, everybody. Welcome to a beautiful, what is today? Wednesday. um, Intention versus wishing and hoping. I will read the definition of hope. To wish for a particular event that one considers possible. To have confidence or trust. To desire and consider possible. Or to expect it. Yes? So hoping and wishing are the same, right? But here's the word intention, the action or fact of intending. It also says an aim that guides action, purpose with respect, propose then to respect to marriage. But again, an intention is an aim that guides action. If you listen to the word hope or wish, it means to wish for a particular event that one considers possible, to have confidence, to desire and consider possible. One is an action, one is a noun. To intend. Sure, you can wish or to hope for. But when you intend for something, right? When you intend, it is an aim to make you act. So, what is an example of an intention? I was looking for something yesterday. Notice I was doing something. I was looking for something. I could not find it. And I said, I really and truly, I just said it to myself. I said, show me this now. And as quote unquote, as if by magic, I put my hand on it. And I was like, oh, well, look at that. Right place, right time. Because my intention was to do something. There's an objective, there's a task that I must accomplish. And so, because I wanted to do that task, I pointed myself in a direction. I aimed myself. I polarized myself in a direction so that I could accomplish it. But when you wish and when you hope, when you wish or you hope for something, it is a particular event you want to happen that you consider possible. But you see, it is outside of you. But to intend for something to happen means you came to a decision. You made up your mind about something. You made up your mind. And in the making up of your mind, you brought about that thing, cause and effect. When you make up your mind, you now become the cause, the operant power. That's what you do when you make an intention. When you set an intention, we think that setting an intention is somehow this foreign thing or we have to learn how to do it. When in actuality, you simply need to become aware that you are doing it. Why do you set your alarm at night before you go to bed? Because you intend to get up. Why? Because you gotta go to work. So an intention causes you to act. Hoping and wishing causes you to wait and to expect. One of those things gives you power. The intention gives you the power because the intention says, I am. But when you wish and you hope, oh, rescue me, that's what you're waiting on. You're waiting for something to happen instead of being the cause of it. What is your intent? which means what is your aim? What is it that you plan to do? Not because you plan to do it in the future, but you do it now. Marjorie, she says, this morning I woke up reminding myself I don't wish and hope. And she says, it's funny you're speaking on it. Well, the law can be funny. It has a sense of humor, if you say. Right? So what am I spurring you to do? I'm spurring you to take the reins of your life in your hands. When you create an intention, you are telling yourself to do something. But when you hope and you wish, you're waiting for something to occur. But it is interesting that it says to have confidence or trust. When you hope, you have confidence or trust in something. Right? You have confidence and trust in something to happen. But when you intend, you have confidence in trust. You have confidence and trust in you to bring it about. Hear it. See, you have confidence and trust in yourself to bring about this thing, which means when you set your intention, you polarize yourself. You point yourself in the direction you say you want to go in. And because you've pointed yourself in that direction, things have to unfold in that direction because that is the seed you planted. That's the thing you're squeezing. Yeah, you're juicing. What kind of juice? You put in carrots in the juicer. You're not going to get apple juice. So it is your intention. It is your intention to have carrot juice. So you put carrots in the juicer. You set your objective. What is it that you want to bring about? What is it that you want to set in motion? That's what we do. What is it that you want to bring about? But you see, sometimes we might be afraid to do it because we think we don't know how it's going to turn out. But what does the law of causation tell you? Cause and effect tell you if you know the cause, you can bring about the effect. You can predict it. You know exactly what's going to happen. And if you know the effect, well, you can be like Sherlock and trace it back and follow your clues and know what the cause is. That's what you're doing. So in there, when you say cause and effect, there's no, well, I hope it happens. No. When you are clear and precise, precisimo, about your cause, about your intention, you will bring it about. And you will have the confidence. Why? Because you know the law tells you if you know the cause, you can predict the effect. You become a prophet. That's what you know. Because it is the law. And the law, you will understand, it will give you the confidence. It'll give you the confidence to make it through the day. It'll give you the confidence to be bold, to set and intend for yourself what you want to bring about. Oh, you'll be courageous because you know the law always works. It's always on. So what then is your role? Your role is to be clear because you know if you have a clear image, it is recreated. No clear image, you get this murky reflection where you just, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Right? But what is it? What is your intention? What is it that you plan to do? You have a clear image of what that thing is. Hmm? What is the phrase they use in a court of law for the intent? They want to know what your intention was. What was your motive? Why? Your motive, listen to the word MOTI, motion, The root of motive is motion. What is it that you planned to do? So when you have this desire for yourself, as Neville says, you get a clear image. What is it that you say you want? That is your intention. That's why he's saying to you, it is already done. You've already set it in motion because you have this clear image. So when you hear, oh, I want to go to school, but I'm not sure. But when you say, it is my intention, you say, I'm going to school. There's just this thing that says, I'm going. And you go and you sign up and blah, blah, blah. You pay your tuition, you get your books, you're done. You started school. It is an aim that brings about action. So if an aim brings about action, that is law. It is cause and effect. Every cause has its effect. Every effect its cause. So you see, this morning, take your time and be clear about what it is you say that you are. Who do you intend to be in this world? That's what you do. You set your intention. You see, the funny thing is why sometimes people don't set intentions? Because they're afraid. They're afraid to do it. So they hem, they haw, they vacillate, like a fish out of water. And then they don't follow through. But you see, when you set the intention, you get the ball rolling. And what happens? Your intention is like pushing the first domino. Yeah, it causes the others to fall into place. So this morning, don't be afraid. What for? Be bold and say, what is it that I want to do here? What is that? That's your intention. If you say, I got to get this garden ready, for fall and winter, you put that in your phone, you put that reminder in your phone, and I'm doing it today. You get up, you go outside, and you set your mind to the task, and you are focused. And then, as they say in Barbados, 2 2s, and you're done. 2 2s, and it's done, Which means the time flew by, and you were busy working. You didn't even check the clock, and you're like, oh, look at that. I got it done. You got it done because you intended to do it. You set yourself in motion to complete your task. That is what you did. You set yourself in motion to complete your task. That is what intention is. We say, oh, it's the same as a goal. No. It's where you polarize yourself. Because remember, what is polarity? It's the movement from to. That's what you're doing. You're setting yourself in motion. So when you intend to do something, you've determined, you've set your mind to it, you said, that's what I'm doing. Not what I'm hoping to do, not what I'm wishing to do, not what I wish would happen. No, this is what I'm doing, and I'm doing it now. So you see, we think it is something we have to learn how to do. No. It is law, so it happens. We always set an intention. You just need to become aware of it. You just need to become aware of what you're doing. We're always setting that intention. So where did you set an intention today? Well, you're here. So that was one intention. You said, I'm setting my alarm. I'm going here. And you are here. So you see, we are always setting an intention because it is law. It is just a matter of, are you aware of what it is you are doing? So here's your exercise today. Your exercise today is to go through the day and set an intention deliberately. Just you tell yourself, okay, I'm doing this now. I'm doing that now. I'm doing this now. Go here now. Use the word now. Why? Because it's right now. As opposed to, oh, I'll do that tomorrow. Listen to how that makes you feel when you say it. Oh, I'll do that tomorrow. Why don't you want to do it now? Daddy always says, why put off for tomorrow what you can do today? He says, if you need to put gas in your tank, and you say, I'll do it tomorrow. Because no, the minute that thing crossed your mind, go. Get it done. And if I tell you how many times I've done that because he said it to me, and then the following morning, you're like, oh, snap, it's a good thing I did it. You see, intention, intent, which means what? Well, IN means inside. Well, that sounds like the law of correspondence to me, as within, so without. When you say I am, that's the intent. But here's something else for you. When you say I am, what kind of power is behind that? What kind of conviction is behind it? You hear me? What kind of conviction is behind it? When you say I am, are you fired up? Oh. You put your foot on the floor for the gas pedal, did you? Oh, as they say, you have a lead foot. Yeah, you know who some of you are. Right? Your intention. What are you powering it with? Oh. So you know when Neville says catch the mood. See that powerful feeling of the mood is what propels you. It's like rocket fuel. You have a destination. You're going there. You've intended to go there. Are you fired up? Or you're just kind of lackadaisical about it? The power behind your intention. Remember, it's the motive, the action, right? Let's take a moment to welcome everyone into the space. Hello, Jeff, darling. It's great to see you. Wonderful, I see you too. And sweetest taboo, I see you, sweet taboo. I see you here on Twitter. It's lovely to see you on this Wednesday morning. Normally we would have fan base, but the app be apping, and I tried 3 times, and I said, you know what? I ain't gonna fret. I ain't gonna fuss about it. I will continue on as I normally do. And here we are. We've got Facebook, Indies here, and we've got YouTube. Goddess Pure Diamond, Sherelle, Marjorie, Cyber. Cyber says, ooh, sometimes I get a good feeling. Yes, we have the better man, David, Zola, and we have Anot. And for the ones who've not made themselves known in the chat, well, I see you too. I see you. Right? So take your time and become clear about what it is you are intending to create. See the difference now between, oh, I want this. I want it. But when you intend to do something, it means it's already done. I don't have a choice but to do it now. I've intended to do it, so everything falls into place. See, when you intend, you don't wait. When you intend, you don't wait. It is done, and you know it is done. Oracle Treehouse. Shea butter. Shea butter, you're on my mind. But does it make sense for you this morning? When you intend to do something, it means it is already done. That's why you said. I want to use certain examples, but I can't. Because Cyber reminded me. So I'm not going to use them. But when I said, okay, look, I'm going to wash the car. You get up and you go out and you get it done. You just go and you do it. You vacuum it out, you clean it, you detail it. Because now it's clean. Right? That was your intention. But if you say, I should really clean the car. Yeah. Notice how the car doesn't get cleaned. Ah! Mozinga. Hello, sweetie. Your intention reminds you that you are causing an effect. So if your intention is reminding you that you are causing an effect, is it done or is it not done? Are you waiting? Or is it done? So this is why in the book of James it says, when you pray, believe that you have received. What is that? Because you intended for something to happen. So when you intend for something to happen, you do it. It is done. This is now, if you're black and I say this, you'll understand. When you have a wash day, that means you have set aside a day. You have intended a particular day that you're going to wash and comb out and deep condition your afro. And then you're going to twist it again. So you set aside a whole day for that to happen because that is your intended day. But if you get up and say, I should wash my hair today, it may or may not get done. But if you say, Saturday is wash day, every second Saturday is wash day, every second Saturday you'll get up and wash your hair because you set it to be so. You intended for it to be so. You're the cause. So you bring about the effect. What about that new job? What about that career? What about that? Do you know what it is? Or you just want anything? Do you know what it is? You see, this is why vision boards exist. When you are clear about your intention and you can see it, the clear image, it keeps you focused. It keeps you polarized in the direction you say you want to go in. And it unfolds and you're like, oh, freak out, right? It's right there and it happened. You're like, oh, what a coincidence. That's on my vision board. See? Your intention. You see, in our old apartment, every Friday was chore day because we shared washer dryer. And so that was the day that we had access to the washer dryer. So I did all my chores on that day so that, Saturday, Sunday, I'll be chilling. Right? So every Friday I got up and I did things that were chores along with the laundry. Why? Because I may have been able to do other things on other days, but I was not able to do laundry on any other day. So I said, I intend to get my chores done on Fridays. When you are clear about what it is you say you are creating in your life, when you hold that clear image, that is your intention. You say, I'm doing that. I don't know if you've ever heard the story of Julia Child. She loved to cook. And so that's what she said. Do a cookbook. And then next thing you know, she ended up with a show. Because she had an intention. I must cook, she said. She didn't know where that was going to go. But her intention was to do it. So she did it. And then a whole world opened up for her. So you see, set your intention. What is it that you plan on accomplishing? Because when you set the intention, you understand. An intention, again, is an aim. Let me read it for you again. Definitions. An aim that guides action. That is intention, an aim that guides action. So when you intend for something, it means you are pointing yourself in the direction of doing that thing. You're not waiting for something to happen. You are pointing yourself in the direction that you say you're doing it in. Wishing and hoping and wanting and longing, that is what causes great frustration. There's a word I wanted to use. Let me look it up right now because I have a device free. Consternation. Definition of consternation. A state of great alarm, agitation, or dismay. You see, when you're hoping and wishing and desperate and wanting something to happen, and you get that frustration, you get that agitation or dismay. Well, this may or may not happen, right? That's what happens. But when you say, nah, I'm doing that. When you say, I'm doing that, you've polarized yourself and you've pointed yourself in the direction. So what's our exercise today? Your exercise today is to be intentional. Do it because you intend to do it. So what are you going to do? I hemmed and hawed yesterday. I wanted to go to the store. And I said, I said, do I go to the organic store? Do I just go to Safeway? And I was like, But always when I said I was going to go to the store, the first image that popped into my head was that store. I saw it as clear as day in my head. And I hemmed and hawed. I was like, but I'm so much closer to here. I could even walk over there. And you know what I ended up doing? The image that was in my mind, that's where I had to go. Because that was my original intention. What was I doing? I was watching something. And I saw what they were doing. And I something just clicked in me. And I said, ooh, let me go get some. And that's what I did. But originally, I hemmed and hawed. Where was I? I was like, this is much closer. I could just walk and get my exercise in. Because winter's coming, and then who wants to go outside in that, right? But then I said, no. I walked out, I went around, I got the mail. I came back and I said, oh, I can walk there. And then I just kept seeing the image of the store. And I said, fine. And I went to the store. And because I went to the store, I said, you know what? That was pretty intentional. What else? What's on my list? And that's what I was telling you. I couldn't find the thing I was looking for. I couldn't see it. And in my head, I said, show me now. Before I finished now, it was like it appeared on the shelf. Trust me, I had been looking at that shelf. And I was like, "Ah." So instead of asking where is it, I said, no, show it to me now. And then I saw it like that. So you see, your intention is your aim to bring about an action. Huh. Mozinga says he was in such despair the past 2 days. You better hope Marjorie didn't read that because she's going to come for you. Marjorie might come for you for that one, Mozinga. You see, remember I tell you, there's not every day that you're going to be happy. It's not every day you're going to be excited. Some days you may feel, a friend of mine used to say, "Oh, I'm just so copacetic today." I'm like, oh, come on. What is that word? Right? Some days you might feel a little sad. Some days you just might be meh. But there's always one thing in the back of your mind: mentalism. The all is mind, correspondence, vibration, polarity, rhythm, causation, gender. You see, we are always in a state of ebb and flow. Ebb and flow. We must gather strength to move, build momentum to move, ebb and flow. So when you're looking at yourself as you're going through something like Mozinga said, he was in despair for the past 2 days. Look at that despair. Hmm? Look at it. What's it smell like to you? It smells like you forgot who you were. That's what it is. Because what happens, let me look it up because I'm here, y'all. I might as well. I'm looking it up. Hold tight. Despair. Definition. To lose all hope. To be overcome by a sense of futility or defeat. Now, when you know the law, is there such a thing as defeat? No. Is there such a thing as hopelessness? When you remember the law? No. Why not? Because the law says, what is it that you want to create? And in order to know what you want to create, you need a clear image. So if you can't conjure up a clear image, the law says, oh, let me help you out. And the law rolls up its sleeves and go, okay, here, let me help you out. Where are you now and what you're doing? You say, I feel kind of like yucky, man. I feel so hopeless today. I feel like this situation ain't gonna change. Oh, the law says, okay. So where do you want to be and what do you prefer to be doing? Where do you want to be at? And you say, you know what? This task at hand needs to be accomplished. I got to do this, and this. And the law says, I see. So now when the law says, I see, it means the image you hold is clear. Listen, again, it's not every day that we're going to feel happy. It's not every day we're going to feel happy. But if you remember, call to your memory the law on a daily basis, you think you will find yourself suffering with despair and longing and hoping? No. Because the law tells you everything is moving, nothing stands still, which means you don't have to stay where you are. Hmm? Hmm? That's what it's telling you. Yeah. So the intention is always to use the law. Huh? That's the intention. Always use the law. Use it. Use the law, my friends. Be clear about that thing you say you're doing. Be clear about it. You say, you know what? It's like when the mood strikes, like some mornings when I get up and I say, I gotta narrate today. It's a funny thing because when I narrate a project, right, then I know I'm getting paid for that project. Money, you know, funny thing that I know I'm getting paid for that project. But you see, there's a particular type of project that I like to do, money or not. There's a particular type of project that I prefer to do. And I said, you know what? Then I intend to do those projects. And sure enough, here we are doing them. Because that particular type of project, the way it brings life into the listener, the way it inspires the listener, that's what drives me to get the word out. So my intention, instead of saying to myself, well, I hate auditioning for certain things, you know, and these bills are going to pay themselves, I said, no. What kind of project do I want to narrate? And that's where I set my intention. I said, well, those are the ones I'll be doing from here on out. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And here we are. Set the intention so that you don't have to be hoping and wishing and longing for things and becoming frustrated or agitated. Oh, this isn't working. No, what is it you intend to do? Listen, you know how you know that you're doing an intention already? You're either on your way to work or you're there already. You intend to be there. But how about intending for something that you genuinely love? Because it's you. Be bold. Be courageous. Set your intention. It means make up your mind to do something. Because once you've made up your mind, you are now clearly projecting that image outward. You know, like on a projector, and you put your paper up to it and you mold it and you shape it, you trace it. But if the light is just on, you know that saying, the light's on, but there's nobody home? Well, a funny thing happens with the light. It shines long enough, it becomes aware that it's shining. Oh, indeed, it does. And it will cause you to do something. So today, when you go out into the world, do something and do it now. That's your intention. I get that feeling, I'll do it. That's what it is. Intend to do that. Intend to practice the law. See what happens. Regardless of whatever circumstances it might be. Don't come for me. Don't you come for me and tell me about, Angela, you don't know my situation. No, I don't know your situation, but I do know the law. And I know the law says what direction you want to go in. Point yourself in that direction, and the law will do the brunt work for you. But here we are trying to force it. That's why we're tired, because we're trying to force it. You have to force yourself to feel better. Recognize why you don't. And when you recognize why you don't, what does the law say? Yeah, because the law will make you be honest with yourself. You know, I don't like this person because they don't like me. They really hurt my feelings. And the law says, oh, so we live by way of emotion, not law? Emotions come and go, but you know I remain the same, right? The law is like that grandmother, you know, who's just rocking as she knits. And she's watching you over top of her glasses, and she's like, what you doing over there? She's not going to beat you. She's not going to judge you. She's not going to say, look at this fool. She's not going to say that to you. But the very fact that you know that she's there and she's rocking and she's knitting, you can hear the click of the needles, and she be rocking and she's probably humming. The fact that you know she's there, you straighten up and fly right. Oh, yes, you straighten up and fly right. Because you know the law is always on. So set your intention. What is it you intend to accomplish? Remember what it means. I'm going to say it to you again. An aim that guides action. An aim that guides action. An aim that guides action. Whose action? Your action. So an aim, polarity. Point yourself in the direction. Only you know the direction that you're going in, because it is your life. This is your life, right? It is yours. So point yourself in the direction. That's what it is. Mosinga? Yeah, you calling me Miss Cold Jella? Ice, baby. Because sometimes I'm known to be cold. Not cold, but I'm showing you that the law is always on. And if you say, look, I'm tired of the way my life has played out all of these years, well, then how do you want your life to play out now? See it, feel it, embrace it, embody it. Do you know what the word embody means? Shoot, we on a roll. So let's look it up. Embody. Definition. Oh, to embody. Listen to this. To give a bodily form to incarnate. Oh, tell me more. To represent in bodily or material form. To make part of a system or whole. Incorporate. But what is it? To give a bodily form to incarnate. So if you say, I want to be bold, well, then you have got to embody boldness. You have got to do what? Give boldness a form. Well, you are already the form, so you might as well be bold. You have to give it life. You have to incarnate. Which means you have to do it. You have to breathe life into the thing you say you want to be. You're the life giver. Hello. So that's what the intent is. Listen to the word in, because incarnate, intention. You're giving life to something because why? It's going to cause you to act. You're giving it form. So what does boldness look like? There's a form to it. So if you say you're tired of being a doormat, well, then you have to get up and behave differently from a doormat. You can't just sit on your couch and hope and long to not be a doormat. You have to embody what? Boldness. Embody the shoe then. Take yourself up a little bit higher from the mat. So embody the shoe, because then you'll embody the foot in that shoe. Next thing you know, you embody the leg, the thigh, the hip. And at the end of the day, you've given it form. You've given your boldness form, because it is your intention to not continue along the path that you're on. It is your intention to become something else. Well, can you see it? Why is it important for you to see it? Because when you see it, you can recreate it. You know that part in Sesame Street where the mother said to the little girl, I need you to go to the store. A container of milk, a stick of butter, and a loaf of bread. A container of milk, a stick of butter, and a loaf of bread. And the little girl says, okay, mommy. And she ran over to the store and she goes, huh, what did my mother want again? And this little bubble appeared over her head. And she saw a container of milk, a stick of butter, and a loaf of bread. Then you can clearly see the direction that you are going in, because you intended to go there. You can recreate it because you can clearly see it. So if you don't know how to get clarity, intend for clarity. Well, how do I do that? Well, you sit there and you say, you know what? Clarity now. Oh, you done know Angela lost her mind today. No, I haven't. You simply say, what is it that you intend? Clarity? Well, you don't want clarity. Intend clarity. And you say clarity now, because that's when you want it now, isn't it? So peace now. And you'll begin to see that as you go through your day and you intend clarity now, peace now, ease now, you'll encounter it because you're recreating it. You've given the image of what you wanted to experience and create. That, my beautiful friends, is the power that you hold. That's the sword that you wield. That's what you have. What good is a samurai sword if you're scared to pick it up? It's not about the sword. It's about who's going to be using the sword, the self. So now you understand why the self is of grave importance, serious importance then. It is of importance because without knowing who and what you are, it doesn't matter what I tell you. It doesn't matter what I share. It doesn't matter what tool you have. It all depends on who is wielding that tool. So if you know that the law is always on, always there, it's never failed you yet. How do you know it's never failed you? Daytime, nighttime, winter, spring, summer, fall. Still motion. The law is always on. You squeeze an orange. Well, we're only going to get the orange juice. See, the law is always on. You can count. Just not in Vegas. Shh, don't do that. You know when something ends and when it begins. You know the ebb and the flow. High tide, low tide, full moon. Shoot, we talk about the latest blue full moon there was and what our lunar ritual was going to be. How do you think you can get to do a lunar ritual? You had to know when it was going to come about. So the law is always on. And it is always reminding you that it is always on. So if you know that the law is always on, well, then it is you who better fall in line with the law so you can maximize your potential. So that means you have to intend. Don't live by way of somebody else's intention. Their intention is based upon who they are. Your intention has to be based upon who you are. Indeed. Indeed. So that's the point this morning. Let me read. Hold on. I got to look over my glasses. You see, Mozinga is saying, he says he's 5 minutes behind, LOL. But I like the today do something and do it now. I get that feeling and I'll do it. But of course, don't force yourself. And you notice how he says, I was forcing suffering upon myself. When all I needed was a conversation with someone to get clarity. I was trying to get clarity on their situation on your own. But that's the thing. You can't ever see the world through somebody's eyes. You won't listen. You'll see blue. They might see turquoise. Perceptions are different based upon the looker. You understand? And he says, he says, yes, cold, but cold is also slang for hot. Well, hot and cold are the same in their nature. Yes, it is only the vibration that separates. Or he says it can also mean precise and sharp or accurate. See, and that's the thing. The encouragement for you today. Do it now. The intention. Set your intention. The law is always on, so you can only succeed. I'm going to say it again. The law is always on, so you can only succeed. The law is always on, so you can only succeed. You can only succeed. Well, how can you be so sure, Angela? Because and effect. When you know the cause, you can bring about the effect. You can predict exactly what's going to happen. You can predict it. You also know as above, so below, as within, so without. So long as you are clear about what it is you say you are, you will find your behavior will change. Because you can see it. It drives you. It, for lack of a better word, it compels you to act. I don't always like the word compel, but because compel, dictionary terms, means to force. But then you say compel by way of law. It doesn't, the law doesn't force you to do a single thing. But you feel like, this, I know what the law says, I'm going to do it. And so you're driven. You're inspired to do it. See? Here's what happens when we try to see ourselves through somebody else's eyes. Mozinga says, yes, perspective is interesting. I was judging myself through a third party's perspective on a second person's perspective. So, the telephone game, by the time it gets down to the last person, it's not the same message. So you're looking at yourself through somebody else's eyes, but they're looking at you through somebody else's eyes. Wait, what? Distortion happens. So this is why it is best to know one's self, so that it is you who is looking through your lens of who you are, so that when you set your intention, you bring about the desired effect that you set out to do. Anyway, we're gonna hit the ball, y'alls. Sweet taboo, I always hit the ball. Let me do this, because I don't know if you know how to find me on what's his name, YouTube. But seeing that we're in this space right now, we're going to hit the bowl, and I'll keep Twitter open so you can hear it as well. Mozinga says, Pel literally means to drive. Well, you know how it is. Because you won't point. Being true is also recognizing one's own power. But yes. And here's the thing. And I'll close with this. When you come across a quote unquote weakness, when you come across a fly in your ointment, right? A behavior that you're not quite fond of, that you do. Here's the part. When you come across that thing, don't judge it. Don't beat yourself up and go, oh my God, look at me. I'm such a loser. Do not do that. What it is showing you is the law is always on. Do you want to remain as you are, or do you want to change? This is why you can see it. We change when something has been brought to our attention. If it is not brought to your attention, how can you change? Because you can't see it. You don't have a clear image. Oh, hello. So when you have a clear image of this thing, this burr in your saddle that's been bugging you, annoying you, when you see it, don't judge it. Look at it and say, oh, so that's where I am at the moment. Where do I want to be at? And you'll begin to see, because once you're clear, it will make you feel a particular way with that clarity. And then it will drive you to be the new person you say that you are. And then when you start behaving in that new fashion, now you've created a new cause, which bring about what? New effects. And all of a sudden you go, oh my God, what a coincidence. How synchronistic. I'm like such a master manifester. Then all you did was not judge, but paid attention to what was presented to you and say, oh, well, that will not do. I am always successful. All I need to do is show the law with clarity where I am successful, and thus I have to be it. So don't cry in your milk. Don't cry over spilt milk, honey. Heavens, no. Recognize what caused you to spill the milk so that you don't spill it again. Which means you can't do the same thing you've always done. The trick is that some of the weaknesses you think you have aren't actually weaknesses. Exactly. It's people's projections. Yeah, right. So here it is. Positive and negative doesn't always mean that negative is bad, No, it doesn't mean negative is bad. It means, what are you looking at? Do you want to remain there? So if you don't judge, positive, negative, if you don't judge the situation, but simply use it to determine, is this the effect that I want to continually bring about? And then act according to law. Let's get that bowl. Let's get the bowl, y'all. Come now.